Let's go. Trade recap or no recap. Let's go live. So today is Friday, September 19th. No news Friday. No news on this Friday. Let me show you news. No news. Now let's check charts. See what's happened to S&P. All right. On the left, we have S&P 500. On the right, we have the NASDAQ. So from yesterday into today, during London session, so during Asian session, from Asia session to London session, and then to New York Open, sliding, just bearish. But earlier in the week, we had tapped into all-time highs, so this could just be relief. And I'm sure after the Fed cutting rates, it's likely to just see irregular movement, so not very consistent. But I mean, it is a downtrend. Lower low, high, but sliding sideways. And then after taking out recent draws, yeah, just not really much to write home about, honestly. So right now, it's 9:37. About 8 minutes until the 9:30 candle closes. Taking out recent draws to the downside during London session. Could just be London continuation. Like this could just be the retracement to then push lower, or this could just be consolidation. Bitcoin's down. All cryptos are down. It's unstable. That's unfortunate. Lock in. Neutral expectations. But Bitcoin's down. I guess there's so after the rates getting cut, Bitcoin saw a surge in price, and then allegedly there had been, or I guess not allegedly, there had been statements of lots of people were selling because Bitcoin had reached a rallied, so people had sold. My connection is bonds. What the fuck? Price is moving. Right now at 67.02. I already took out these draws, these low resistance draws to the upside. Boom, 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 boom. This could be bearish relief after making all-time highs. But is today really a day where you'd see bearish day on the S&P? I don't think so. We're bullish on the daily, so this could just be retracement. Can't lie, staying on the sidelines definitely offers up certainty of not entering into a trade, but at the same time, it is literally uneventful. It is literally more uneventful.
just because, you're not in a position. But at the same time, I feel like this should be how it is, really. Just very boring, straightforward. So mark out the 15-minute high, 15-minute low of the 9:30 candle, and then go to the 5-minute time frame. Now you wait. What you're looking out for is if there are consecutive candle closures within this opening range. For example, price to come down here, not exit, but just come back up, and then come back up and slide back down. For consecutive candle closures, if you see that, it's likely a day where you're not going to enter in a position. And what helps me know is by like 9:53, 9:55, those consecutive candles, even on the 1 minute, within here, it saves you a day of just not trading. Because let me tell you why. So this was something that I had a problem with when I was trading the TJR's order flow, the liquidity sweep, breakage structure, fair value gap. I had like just days where I started to realize, and it just was what I had at the time regarding my strategy. This was just a kink, not in that way, but this was like a small fine tune that I needed help with. I would just stick it out. Like I would be like, okay, well, I'll just wait until fucking, like, I know there's the 9:50 to 10:30 window, but if it's been consecutive movements within that opening range and it's been like 0.01% bullish, 0.04, 0.01, and then starts to bounce down. When it's doing that and you stick it out, you're just screwing yourself. And when you see a position, you're just looking for the position, and then anything that looks like the slightest bit that could be an entry, you're going to enter on it. That was the problem that I was having. And then by having this opening range marked out and seeing consecutive candle closures within there helps me just say, okay, I'm out for the day. But when you see price exit before those consecutive candle closures, it's a good sign, or it's a sign of possible entry, possible execution. So what I'm looking for is for price to exit out of this opening range, and then instead of taking that first move, wait for a retracement back into this opening range and then pushing higher. So closing outside of here, I would then enter, targeting this half point, this equilibrium right here as my stop loss, and then a recent draw as my take profit. But I guess that was the FOMC. No, that wasn't the FOMC. I'd target that take profit. But after what's been happening this week, if you don't know, Fed cut rates, and that was a very much anticipated day. A very much anticipated day, and it. Oh, hey, hello. It very much affects the market as the, money becomes cheaper to borrow. Fed cut a 25 point. Okay, so all right, we exited orb, or price exited orb. Not retracing yet, but this is what you're looking for. Did it really touch orb though? But that's solid because I am seeing a increase in bullish volume apart from this market open bearish candle. So, as I was saying, more money within the markets when money is borrowed cheaper, which also leads into the discussion of more money's being borrowed, US dollars going down, inflation still going up. And people are hedging their funds in places that will appreciate instead of an asset that depreciates, such as, or I guess it's not an asset. What is it? Is it? Yeah, money is considered an asset because it is a resource you own that has inherent value. But as the US dollar is going down, people are also, that also invokes scarcity when there's inflation's increasing. But with all this being said, this was a very much anticipated day as it directly affected the market as an entire whole. So what did I do in order to experiment? I bought more Bitcoin because as I said, as the US dollar's depreciating, people are looking to invest their money in an asset that appreciates. For example, gold or Bitcoin. My connection's good. Should be able to go back out. But there's also this fair value gap that's getting made. So I'm not very concerned if this candle doesn't actually close or doesn't actually touch back into the opening range. Likely to see an additional candle come back into the opening range to fill this gap. Or it fills the gap now. I would enter. I would enter right now. Actually, now that I'm looking at volume, decreasing in volume, and that
if you want to consider it a doji candle, to enter on a doji candle. And a doji candle is when you see price goes up, does not close here, and then comes down, does not close here, and then closes at that middle point. That would be a doji candle. Or like maybe it's a dragonfly. But anyways, it doesn't give me a clear idea as far as if price will continue to the upside. And as there is this fair value gap that still is here. Data is delayed. Whoops. 1 second. Let me log back in. I was trying to see if you could trade NVIDIA. But you can trade anything, so. But NVIDIA is reflecting the similar pattern. Similar pattern as NQ. Try to. Let me show you. Yeah, no, dead ass. Look. All right. I wonder if it'll let me screen mirror to the computer. Banger. Give me that. Let me show you. You see that? The way it made this rally here. Moving sideways before making this rally here. All right, let's get back in the zone. This would be a good point to go long. If you see a 5 minute candle closure outside of this opening range, bullish candle closure, might I add. I think, yeah, no, I think there's an opportunity for long today. I believe. But the fact that price has been at a decline in volume, along with the fact that I'm not a fan of that. There you go on MQ. A minute and a half until this candle closes. Nvidia's rallying. It's a good sign, I think. I mean, it's the fact that Nvidia. So why I'm even entertaining this is because Nvidia is such a big player within the market, and the rally on Nvidia, when Nvidia looks exactly like NQ right now, go long, go long, go long, go long, 100% on the 5 minute candle closure, 30 seconds. I mean, SMT, NQ's making a higher high, or this is making a lower high, or let me better, yeah, a lower high, not necessarily a higher high, but higher high than the opposite. So you'd wait for this 5 minute candle closure out, or you'd already enter on NQ. You get the water. Although this isn't a actual, this is a simulated account. As I've said, I won't trade on a funded account. Won't spend money towards trading for the month of September, as I'm watching on the sideline. But this would be an example of forward testing. You can actually, a good till cancel is um, for swing trade, and you can swing trade regularly. I didn't know that you could swing trade regularly, or how to execute it. Ooh, hey, see this? This would have saved us. I feel like prior, maybe I would have entered right here. If it's not a 5-minute candle closure, you got to get out. Price falls and rallies, or just slides down. Met this point of resistance, could not push any higher. Most of the volume was already just through here and out. Equilibrium. Nvidia is still rallying. This candle closes minute 15 seconds. It's a good sign. Bullish volume. But a lot can happen in 1 minute. Great sign. But candle does not close out. Therefore, I did not enter. Your love is king. Around you in my heart. Your love is king. Wow. Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Palantir, Google, AMD, AMC, Netflix, Coca-Cola. Oh my God. Yo. Yo, what? Oh my goodness. There was this quantum computing company that I had first invested my money into. This was my first company that I ever chose to buy stock with. Wasn't anything like, wasn't any other company, but I saw, so I had seen Fed was cutting rates. Then I looked up what happened or what companies most benefit off of Fed's cutting rates, and it was mid cap quantum computing companies, specifically mid cap being 250 million market value to like 2 billion or something. And I had first invested like $30 or $90. I first invested like $90, and then I took it out to put it into Nvidia.
That company is now up today 22%. Damn. That shit is awesome. It's crazy to see this shit in real life. Just how obvious it is. Fed cuts rates, quantum computing goes up. Now, the reason for quantum computing goes up, like I said, money's borrowed at a cheaper rate. Therefore, more money into the market. And the companies that benefit most off of public funding are companies that are based in technology, like a quantum computing company. 24%. The company I was buying it at like $16. It's $22 today. Crazy. This shit is awesome to see. So cool. Your love is king. Out you with no harm. Your love is king. Never leave your heart. Kisses ring. Touching over me. It's making my soul shake. This quantum computing rally is crazy. 23%, 24%.
This company saw a 300% gain during the month of December. December 18th, Fed cut rates last. This company saw a 300% increase in about like a week and a half. I was a fool to not get in. I was a fool to take my money out, is what I mean. But if there's a 300% possible increase, so today would not be the day of the increase. Today would not be the day of that drastic increase. This company's market cap is now 3.7 billion. Is it no longer a mid cap? Price is now making the rally.